Hi everyone, it's Simon Keeling here at weatherweb.net and it's Monday the 29th of June. Thanks again for watching. Heat's going to be the main story, of course, of the weather this week. It's all over the news, isn't it? TV, radio, all over the internet as well. And yeah, it's going to be hot. Temperatures getting up to 33, 34 degrees by Wednesday across the southeast. And I think stifling humidity as well, but it's not going to be lasting long. It will be turning fresher by the time we get into the weekend. It's amazing, isn't it? We wait for all this warm weather to arrive and then get really concerned when it actually does arrive. Seriously, I think if you've got conditions that are affected by heat, then you probably need to be prepared for it, particularly Wednesday, Thursday and Friday. And again, it may just raise its head into the weekend briefly, particularly across more eastern and southern parts of the country. But I know for many of you, rainfall really is the main concern. We've got lots of farmers, we've got people who lay concrete, for example, who watch the videos, and for them it's critical to know when rain is going to occur. Now, a bit tricky from the models just at the moment, but these are the charts you can get hold of from weatherweb.net. And what these are showing, as I just run through the sequence into tomorrow, is some drizzle, some outbreaks of rain across northern Scotland, and a few spots of drizzle as well, affecting western Scotland, perhaps north parts of Wales, perhaps the east of Ireland on Tuesday morning. But you'll notice how most of those fading away. And then into Tuesday, generally dry. But look, Wednesday, got this area of storms, tracks northwards across western parts of the country, it appears, during Wednesday. I think most of them fairly well scattered, but there could be another area of showers forming in the east. Now, as we head in towards Thursday, so most places become dry, but look at the area of thundery rain across the southeast there. Got to watch that one as well for the potential parts of Kent, parts of East Anglia, producing large totals. Much uncertainty over exactly where these features are. Friday, still got that rain hanging around the southeast, but then watch what happens as Friday progresses. That's Friday afternoon, thunderstorms south and west. That's Friday evening. Some real torrential stuff then tracking its way northwards through the country during the latter part of Friday into the early part of Sunday, we think. And that really then just clears away during Saturday, leaves a scattering of showers around on Saturday afternoon, one or two showers on Sunday, most of them across Scotland and Ireland, but drier and fresher elsewhere. So bits and pieces of rain to come through as the day progresses. Sorry, as the week progresses. But what about a little bit further ahead? Interesting to see the comparison between the CFS and the Chinese model, because this latest CFS from today actually looks very similar to the Chinese model, which I'll show you in just a moment. You know, I've got a lot of time for the Chinese model just at the moment. It's been performing really well. This is the week one rainfall ending 5th of July, and you know, it is not putting huge amounts over the UK, most of it towards the west. Some here look across the southeast as well. So CFS trying to pick up on that thundery rain that I've just mentioned to you across southeastern parts of England, the thunderstorms passing northwards, and the idea of most rain being across the western parts of Scotland. Now, into week 2, up to the 12th of July, for next week, look, it brings more persistent rain across Scotland, across Ireland, some across northwest England as well. I think this is all a little bit too far south. I think probably what we're going to find is that more persistent rain across more western parts of Scotland, west of Ireland, kind of within that area there. And I think elsewhere it's generally fairly mixed. So it's going back to the conditions that we had before. So kind of fresher weather, temperatures near just above normal for the time of year, fronts coming east and south. Those that do make it east and south generally weakening quite a bit. Most rain always across western Scotland and across the west of Ireland. Remember the period in the middle of July? I was telling you we were watching about the 15th of July for a spell of dry weather, perhaps lasting for 5 or 6 days in there. Well, this is the latest week 3 from the CFS. It's trying to pick out something. Look, it's trying to go with the idea of some dry weather during this period. I think it's perhaps a bit early with it, but certainly sees it, although it brings some thundery rain into southwest Ireland and southwest England later on in the week. But I think we centre this around the 15th for a period possibly of drier weather. After that, well, it gradually moves back, look, into more mixed conditions in the week up to the 26th. But this is quite interesting. Watch this for August. Yeah, we get some dry conditions. So actually the second half of July within the south of the country not showing itself too badly. Look at the rain here across central southern parts of Europe again, triggered by those storms. So what this pattern is generally showing is high pressure in here, ridge in here, trough through here, and the southwesterly flow in here, which is what's producing the outbreaks of rain. But just look at this as we head into August. Things turning more unsettled. Look, it tries to keep the idea of outbreaks of rain through the UK heading through August. So goes with not completely a washout, but certainly more unsettled than it has been through July. And the idea through August of, again, it's not a washout, as I say, by any means, but the idea of those rain bands coming through probably more effective than the rain bands that have been coming through in July. And once again, to notice, look, the end of August here, it goes with, again, this period of heavy rain and showers across central and eastern parts of Europe. Again, we're going to be getting this idea of a ridge of high pressure in here. It's just that the trough has sunk further southwards. But still, even on that basis, England and Wales not too bad, but as I say, generally a more mixed pattern. Now, as I say, it's quite interesting to see what the Chinese go for, because you'll need to get yourself adjusted to this, but this is the week one, sorry, not week one, yeah, this is the 10-day precipitation anomaly from the Chinese model. It's valid from the 1st of July through to the 10th of July, and the UK is underneath here. Okay, do I need to just zoom in on that a little bit for you, perhaps, if I can? Let's try and zoom in on that for you. There we go. So, as I say, the UK is underneath here, and during that period, look, during this first part of July, it's going for the sort of yellow colours across central southern parts of the country, indicating slightly drier than normal, but the blue colours up towards the north and the west, slightly west of the normal, not drastically so, but rainfall nearer normal totals up towards the north and the west, lower normal totals down towards the south and east. Now, into the period from the 11th through to the 20th, and look, bluer colours across all parts of the country. So it tries to hint at more unsettled conditions, and across much of Europe as well. Look, goes for these more unsettled conditions. From the period the 21st until the 30th, drier. So it's trying to see the same pattern, the same scenario developing as the CFS is trying to see as well. Let's just zoom in on that a little bit. So it's trying to develop that similar sort of idea that somewhere in the middle of July, there's this drier hit of weather to come through. Then, for the final period, so running from the 31st of July up to the 9th of August, what have we got? Well, a return to nearer normal rainfall conditions across much of the country, perhaps slightly drier than normal. So the Chinese model certainly seeing a very similar thing to the CFS, and in terms of temperatures, that's how it sees temperatures through the whole of the month of July. It's actually going for cooler than normal. Look, it goes for half a degree to a degree below normal. Keeps the hot weather across central and southern parts of Europe, including Iberia, by a couple of degrees warmer in places, perhaps even some more. But across the UK generally, it keeps us in cooler than normal conditions overall through the month. Now, I suspect that probably is overdone a little bit. I think temperatures coming in at near normal. But what's interesting is that it's telling us don't get carried away with the heat that we're going to be seeing over the next few days, because the indications are that things do slip back into these near normal conditions. Of course, that's all a very long way ahead, isn't it? And anything could change. But just interested to see this pattern developing now through July and heading into a more mixed August. Not a washout, as I say, but a more mixed August. Okay, hopefully that's been useful for you. I shall leave you with that for now. But I want to say thanks again for watching. And don't forget, if you do need us to tell you when the videos are updated, I'm not quite sure why that text has appeared over there, but if you'd like me to let you know when the videos are updated, we'll send you an email. All you need to do is send us a blank email to generalweather-subscribe@weatherweb.net, generalweather-subscribe@weatherweb.net, and we'll send you some more information about that. Quick update on the premium service. That's all coming on quite nicely. Hope to have more information for that for you very soon, and hope to launch that in a few weeks as well. What we want it to be is... that as well. Good to me. Look, it's all going wrong now. Yeah, what we want that to be is basically, there we go, got rid of that, is a service that's not available anywhere else. and that gives you forecasts, guidance, going ahead months in advance, explains the weather in more detail to you, and really allows you to make the most of the weather. But we'll tell you more about that in the coming weeks. Okay, I shall leave you with that for now before anything else starts flashing up on the screen. But whatever you're doing, have a great day. Thanks again for what... It's so professional, isn't it? I've said it before, I'll say it again. You don't get this on the BBC. Keep the sun shining, and bye for now.